Oh my. Yeah, no, that's it. See, this is some curvaceous, shapely. I'm going synonyms. Okay, so with the summer season coming to a close and the fall season starting up, typically at the beginning of new anime seasons, I always try to look for something new. And like I know I said I'm going to start Eminence, which I'm in the process of right now, but that show still has like its first season complete and season 2 is coming out as I'm talking right now. So that's like a whole big video in itself. But like I really wanted to hop into a new series and I was looking at a couple of new series coming out. I heard a couple people talking about this Undead Unluck show. I saw that it was being animated by the same people who did Fire Force and JoJo. So I knew one thing. First off, if you haven't seen episode 1, there will be spoilers in this video. So you could either watch this to determine if you want to go watch it or go watch it, whatever you want to do. I don't care. But I saw that it was being made by that studio. So I already knew that we were probably going to be coming into this with some solid animation, solid sound effects, because no one in the game does that shit better than Fire Force. That's what I was expecting with this show, and I had somewhat of an idea of what it was going to be about in terms of like the characters, but it's a very interesting concept that, depending on the direction, could really end up becoming a solid series. When they first start this episode, first off, I thought I clicked the wrong show because I see some girl walking through the snow at like 3 frames per second. And we keep going back and forth between like this old school, like very slow framed animation to like this girl watching a plane take off with some wicked OST. This OST that I was playing was fucking nutty, I'm not even gonna lie. And the way they were playing out this beginning sequence, first 3 minutes, I'm like, damn, this shit's kind of beautiful, nigga. The girl watching the plane get iced, she just starts crying her eyes out, and then these two people are kissing, and I'm thinking this is like a TV show. I wasn't thinking it was a manga, but then when we get one of the main characters closing the book, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Right at the bat, we kind of start a little dark. She's like, yeah, I finished this manga, life's great. I've done everything I wanted to do, so let me just hop on. I'm like, damn, nigga. we just got into this. After her little monologue, we were introduced to our second main character, and his name was like Undead. So he pulls up, he's like, yo, shawty, back away, criminal. Listen to me and listen to me clearly. If you touch my body, you will contract an uncurable disease. I'm 4 minutes into this episode. I don't know this lady's name yet, but I'll take that disease. Because I'm looking at the angles, right? I know we're getting deep into that. I know I just started this, but this couldn't be unnoticed because this was a different type of geometry, trigonometric type of ratios going on, because it wasn't only like the bodaciousness of this upper area, because we get a brief look at the curvature and you could tell like just the, you know, I'm not gonna listen, angles. That's but no, so we see him walk into her knife, right? And obviously he's the undead one. But from this scene alone, I could tell this is definitely gonna be a very comedic show. And I feel like in this first episode alone, it did hit damn near every time. Not like cackling, laughing, you know, because from an anime, you don't really expect that 100% of the time. Like, I'm not gonna be laughing at a show unless that shit's like Prison School. But with this show, it's these very silly little moments and character interactions. Seems like they know what they're doing. The way the shit chips off for no reason, and the nigga just falls. And the nigga falls and splats into the train. It is going to be a good quality of the show, but I hope it mixes seriousness and those comedic moments in together well. You know, and for the people that have read the manga, I don't know what direction the show takes. It seemed like it could take a semi-serious approach and actually become a flourishing type of love story between these two. But she thinks she kills the man, and we see him shoot himself up, and I noticed that they use a lot of Fire Force sound effects. The animation art style also crisp. And we see this nigga start turning into the Founding Titan real quick. And like the animation behind his body regenerating, that shit was so clean. And like, it's a very vibrant show. And the colors and everything just really pop out. Everything looks so smooth. Like even his heart beating and all like the muscles oh my gosh, that shit was cold. And the blood flying around. And I liked the way that they censored his area as well. Like it was a different type of censorship that maybe it's been in different shows, but I've never seen like censorship like this. And I thought it was very cool looking. Yeah, so we see her swing on his ship. They go through this little chase sequence, and I'm looking at like it's definitely on purpose, and I'm not over exaggerating either. Like this is just like solidified bodaciousness from this woman. This is absolutely outrageous. And he starts operating like Shinra / Spider-Man / Hulk. I don't know what the fuck he's doing, but he's jumping building to building, kidnapping the woman. I can't take it anymore. I'm sorry. I'm watching this back. They get to the top, they start having their little conversation, whatever, and see this. No, because see, he's holding her upside down, and the way they have these things sitting right now, nonsense. I can't even think of like a word for it. I'm actually gonna look up the let me look some shit up. Curvaceous? Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that was a word. Oh my. Yeah, no, that's it. See, this is some curvaceous, shapely. I'm going synonyms. This is some curvaceous, shapely, fully figured, rounded, buxom. This is some buxom, man. This is some buxom, you know. Yeah, no, that's it. That's the word. That's what this is right now. After we get a good look at these shits leaking out, I'm sorry, man. It's just really unnecessary. He starts hitting her with Cesaro's finisher for no reason, I don't think. I think it was because she wasn't explaining her power. I don't know if it's his character model, but seeing him stand here like Spider-Man, there's something like gritty about that shit. Is that even the word? His character model is fucking sick, and I already got into her deeply. I'm deep. Pause. I already got deep into her character. She eventually tells him what's up. She states her backstory. Parents were off on a business venture. She was like, Mama, Papa, great to see you. And I'm gonna see you off. I'll see you in a week. I'm gonna chill with Unc. Gives him a kiss on the cheek. And then she had God strike from above. I don't know. But they didn't really specify why this happened and the meaning behind it. But apparently she can't be skin to skin with people. If you touch her skin, good night. Then he decides to pull Rudeus and hit her with some MMA submission hold and decides to go all up under her shirt and get some glob of a squeeze under that shit. And it's like, first off, nigga, get your hands off my woman. Okay, so you don't even know what we got going on. I could only let this go on for so long because he might be undead, she's unluck, but she was like, ah, Julian, you're so unattractive. And now one would say, oh, she doesn't like you're ugly. That's what a normal person would say, but it was a play on the words of the title of the show. So she was just doing it in a flirtatious manner, and we have a date next week. So that's all it is. So he better back off before I start using my power of ugly. That's all I'm saying. He swears he's slick. I mean, he has no rules though. He could do whatever the fuck he wants. Who's tested him? Not me. Take her. And then as soon as he lets go, dude gets clobbered by a balloon tower defense package. And then she starts running, slips on the banana peel and starts falling to her death. And it's like, it's funny. It's good, laughable, like fun. It's been an enjoyable watch so far, just watching these two like develop this relationship with each other. And obviously as she's falling, he saves her and it's like a cool little sequence again. And he takes her back to his lair because he's gonna try and exploit her ability so he can get himself off this planet, basically. Right? So obviously that was gonna be the purpose of the show, but it seems like they have ops. This guy with this scar, like his suit and his sword, I was like, damn, this nigga looks kind of cold. And I'm thinking he's gonna be like a main villain, or at least like a main mafia boss type of thing, you know, like because he looks kind of solid. So he didn't even give this girl a chance to breathe. He just pulls up, he said, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take off your clothes and I'm just gonna touch you all over. Like that's not fair. I don't know, I'm feeling a little freaky right now. As I would, and as anyone else should. She's out of there because this nigga's saying all this shit with the meanest smile on his face. I'm gone. And it's like he doesn't even think he's the problem either. And she pulls a Tamaki really quick and gets her jacket thrown off of her. I'm thinking it's gonna be the whole shebang, and I'm like, okay, we gotta calm down really quick. But she has a whole ass lion's mane on her head. But she pulled the Tamaki pose though, so that's how you know this is the Fire Force studio. The legs on the side, hands in the middle, looking up, crying, same shit, right? But they had a very like intimate moment right now, and like it was just cool that it was a very nice moment to see, because you could tell that there's definitely going to be more of these types of moments throughout the duration of the show, just because like she is going to feel that love, I think, that she was referring to in that manga. And at the end of the day, she's probably gonna start falling for him. He may not fall for her since he's such a goober and he doesn't seem to take anything seriously, or maybe he might fall for her. And then there's going to be like a conflict internally with him at the end where he's like, damn, do I really want to kill myself? And he may wait for her to like pass away and grow old. That might happen. That would be nice. I might cry if that shit happened. And then we see that he used to be a stylist. He starts giving her a fade. And I guess with her ability, as long as you're touching her and you don't separate yourself, then the unluck won't come in. But the longer that you do have contact with her, then it just stacks up and it becomes worse. But he gives her a little cut. It's quite like, I like the long hair personally. It was nice, but she still looks good like this regardless. And it's a very like wholesome moment between them. We see him hoping for some shit to happen to him. He gets decapitated instantaneously. I just thought it was the wind that cut his shit off. But no, so it was Himeno's ghost brother. He came with his sword. We see one of his goons creeping behind her. The way he crouched down, I'm like, that must be me under the mask. I don't know. I see that angle. That's that buxom again. I'm getting very explicit. I need to stop. I'm just jokes. But no, he cuffs her. God, what the? I thought you guys were on my side. Us, the niggas in suits, you must have about 2 years of education under your belt, because what the fuck is that? You might actually be dumber than the nigga's body that has no head to think with. But then he starts talking about how their job is to police like unselected negators. So I'm assuming that like people like her and undead, and I'm sure there'll be more of them, they're like anomalies within this world, and their powers are like so outrageous that they have to eradicate them in some way. I don't know. That's what it seems like. And you know, they start doing the thing where it's like the guy starts talking about how bad the undead dude is and how he's gonna abuse her power, and then she's like, no, he just cut my hair, he's straight, you don't know anything about him because me and him are lovers. Basically, that's what she's saying. And I don't know what this nigga conjured up, but he called Sasuke in, and he dropped the Kirin on Mafia Goon 7. And again, just seeing like all of his blood splattering and his body regenerating, it's such like a cool sequence. And I guess the glass piece in his head is similar to like the limiters like code from fucking Boruto, and he pulls that shit out and he starts bullying those fools. And the fight sequence was so clean. Them cutting off his limbs and then him regenerating, catching himself, catching the knife, and then just 4-on-1. It was clean. You step one more foot to me, boy, I'm slicing this shit off. You wouldn't dare. Girl, I will dice your ass. You hear me? You know nothing about me. Hey, yo, how you alive for so long and your shit's so small still? That's crazy as hell because I'm grown out of shower. Bootleg ass Levi Ackerman. Shut up. You want my head? Take it. Yeah, I'll take your head. You're foodie as hell. See, and this was another good moment too, because he cuts his head off. He's trying to save her. He's like, I'll see you in another life. She pulls a maneuver out, and I guess this is her special move, and now it's coming full circle to when she decimated her parents. As she kisses the man on his cheek as his head is floating through the sky. Nice scene. I'm like, to what degree, like, what type of bad luck is she about to bring? And she brings a fucking Madara Uchiha-sized meteor from the belt of Saturn. Like, is she taking out the Naruto universe with this ability? If they have no knowledge of this, they're done. I mean, I guess they could blitz her and just like kill her. But I mean, if her power is utilized properly, she like wipes 90% of these shows. How so? I don't know. Because she would have to hold them for a pretty long time. Oh no, she could just kiss him. So she could be like a fake mistress type of deal or something. But no, so obviously she takes out everyone but him. She tells him her name is Fuko Izumo. And I swear with this shit, she swears she dropped the bar. She dropped like a bad battle rapper bar when she was like, what's your name? He was like, I don't have a name, just call me Undead. So then she was like, all right, I'll name you. And then she was like, bingo, I'll call you Andy because you're undead. What do they say, tomatoes? Man, that shit was, that was bad. So you had to put more thought into that one. It sounds good though, Undead Andy. So I'll give her a pass on that. If that's what you want, I don't care. All right. So if a kiss did this, right? Just hear me out. And I'm just looking at how the stars are aligning right now. This is not even me. I mean, we've got to have sex. It has to be. And I'm thinking this too. If a kiss dropped one of those stereotypical anime meteors down from the heavens, what will fornication do? You know, and I'm sure that'll eventually pop off at some point in time. But it's like the comedic timing in this show really good. Like she just starts running away, doesn't even say a word, and you just hear her huffing and puffing. Like it's just stupid comedy, but I think that's what's gonna make this show good. And if they incorporate those serious elements into it to where it's a good balance, I could see this being a very enjoyable show for me. And then I want to say this was the opening song because it sounded like Queen Bee singing it. But in the OST so far, all the songs that they played, solid. Seems like they really are putting some care into this show and are trying to make it a good time. And I can see it. Very vibrant. For a first episode alone, I'd say 9 out of 10. It was a fun ass time. It was a very enjoyable watch, and I just hope the comedy hits. Like it's really not that cheesy comedy because like the stakes in the show make it make sense. It's just that it feels like that very random like One Punch Man type of comedy since Saitama is fucking busted as hell. You know, like it's that stupid comedy since this man's undead. It'll definitely be fun. But no, so I'm thinking I'm gonna try to get through Eminence, and I don't know if I should drop a video on season 1 and then watch season 2, drop a video on season 2, or just let me know in the comments for that. And I'm also going to start working on that Bleach video and we'll go from there. But without further ado, on to the next one. And yeah, that's it.